this video is specific things for you to work on in your practice. So in this video, my right hand has the orange poi, my left hand has the lime green poi. Lime for left. Okay. So first of all, I was wanting you to work on doing these Pilates drills where you're practicing the hip opening here. And I mean, honestly, one of the tools that so I'm going to square off to the camera so that you can see this. Imagine that you have a peg on each side, and you're pulling the peg back and forth. Okay, and then the other thing that I had said to you before that you said really helped was imagining that it was a stiff board, literally. And I think it's really important to imagine from the place in the joint where you bend all the way up to the shoulder, so that the movement isn't this, and it also isn't this, right? It's this, all of it moving together. Okay, then for you, I feel like you have each of the positions independently. What I'm noticing when you're putting them together is, so like if you're in this position and you're going to your next position, instead of going hunk to there, right, as one fluid motion, you're going multiple pedals to get there. So your focal point right now should be on placement of the poi. I also think so I noticed you were getting distracted. You're like, oh, but this looks terrible. And I think part of it is because you were looking in the mirror this way as opposed to sideways, what the audience is seeing. But the other thing is, and I mean, this is crazy sounding, but it's true. This is harder to do than this. It's like when you're doing your pinwheel, this is actually harder to do than this, right? So I feel like what's going on for you right now is you're focusing on trying to get this perfect, where I think it's a two-prong approach. I think you want to push yourself to, okay, I'll do one time all the way around, and now I'll exercise this crappy position. I'll do one time all the way around, and exercise this crappy position. One time all the way around, you know, okay, now I'll go 2 times all the way around. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, second time, 2, 3 and 4, right? And I think that between all of those things together, I think that'll help really get it. And then the number one thing that you were struggling with in this position, you were saying, how do I change, my plane's doing this, how do I change my plane to get it straight? At the bottom of the turn, you want to push backward. At the bottom of the turn. And I also, I mean, this is a subtle motion, but I'm also experiencing myself doing a little bit of a bounce. So like even when your hand is here, I know you do this, where you bounce your hand up and down. Watch my hand, there is still a balance. My wrist, notice how it's going really big and pushing down. So there's almost an acceleration as I'm going toward the ground, which helps me keep the line straight.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Does that make sense?
Yep. That's awesome.